She's the one that's buying all kinds of stuff, and I don't know where she's getting the money.
Now we're just blowing money just because the other one's blowing money.
I can't believe how stupid you people are.
Well, we still need to come up with $1,300.
But how? It just sort of cuts into the future you want for your kids.
I'm trying to save your life here.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
I'm Carl. I'm a shipping team leader. I wonder how deep it is.
My name's Karissa, and I work as a registered nurse.
We've been together for 8 years.
You've already driven through enough mud today. We go out once or twice a month to go off-roading. That was pretty good. It's my turn to drive.
It's not your turn to drive yet. Turned into an obsession trying to match with all my friends that go out putting bigger tires on, doing things like that to the Jeep.
Carl goes out and spends $1,000 in one day.
Whereas I think Carrie will make a lot of small purchases, not realize how fast they're adding up.
Thanks. I've been off on maternity leave for about 10 months.
It's one of the best things that's ever happened to me is having my son. With her being on maternity leave, my budget's stretched to the max.
You go to a mom and baby movie.
Total is $1,882. Thank you.
It all costs money.
Enjoy your show.
Thank you. We've bought the house in the last 5 years.
I would say we've spent so far on home renovations probably $20,000 to $25,000.
Hi, can I get a couple of orders of fish and chips, please? We eat out a lot. Drinks?
Yeah, I better get a couple. She's the one that's buying all kinds of stuff, and I don't know where she's getting the money.
It'll get paid off at some point, magically, I guess. I had to start back to work a couple of days ago.
I've taken a 6-week parental leave. We're at the point now where we don't really communicate with each other all that much. Divorce is definitely on our minds.
If he can't cope with the money issues, and I can't cope with him not coping with the money issues, maybe I'm better off on my own.
If Gail helps us get our finances under control, then that would be one less thing we have to worry about in the marriage.
This month, I'll help this couple move from red to black. I've been solving money problems for over 20 years, tackling everything from high finance to low income. I help people understand money and debt, which is still a huge mystery for most folks. And it's the #1 reason couples split up. So now I'm making house calls. Karl and Karissa have a new home, good jobs, a beautiful new baby, and a marriage on the brink. Karissa has her head in the sand. Karl thinks her debt is her problem, not his. And there's steps from bankruptcy and divorce. Hi.
Hi.
Gail Fox-Oxlade, nice to meet you.
Karissa, nice to meet you.
Hi, I'm Carl.
You have a lot of stuff in your cupboards. So why do you have all this food if you don't cook at home?
It's all missing partial ingredients to finish it off.
How many TVs do you have in the house?
4.
3.
4? They have every single baby toy in triplicate. Here's the thing about home ownership. There's always something else you have to buy. There's the patio furniture, the barbecue, the landscaping, and the toys. Okay, so Carl, you knew there was a problem.
Right.
Carrie, you didn't know there was a problem. Wait.
Okay.
Right?
I guess I didn't know how big of a problem it was.
In fact, she thinks you're anal about the debt.
I don't think now is the time that we should have been, like, killing ourselves to pay it off.
Really? When would be the right time?
When I go back to work from maternity leave.
But then you'll get pregnant again and have another child.
I don't want to have children knowing what one costs, let alone having.
But you didn't create this debt while you were on maternity.
No.
How much did you spend on the wedding?
25.
Total $25,000.
Why didn't your parents pay to get rid of you?
I think they paid about $10,000.
No, they didn't.
Well, they paid for the whole,
They paid 5.
for the reception, so.
No, they didn't. No, we paid them back for that.
So I see here that you can't communicate together.
And we still act like 2 single people, but we're married.
Her debt is her debt, and my debt is my debt.
The house is yours. The car is yours. When you two end up divorced, where does the baby get to live?
Wherever the court will decide.
With me.
That's right. The minute she leaves you, half this house is hers and half the debt is yours because it was accumulated while you were together.
I didn't care, but now I have to care.
I think Gail came down a bit harder on me.
Ultimately, because I think that she didn't realize the problem was as bad as it was.
You have $80,000 worth of consumer debt. How do you pay that off and keep a roof over your head and put food in your baby's stomach?
You can't.
You can't. Do you value each other?
I think at one point we did.
I do.
What changed?
Lack of respect towards me.
That's because you would say things and she wouldn't listen. So he felt he was being shown a lack of respect. Because when he said, this debt's too much, you're making me nervous, you said, you're stupid. You have got to get a grip on reality because you have put more focus on stuff than on each other, on mutual respect, and on the responsibility you have upstairs. I want to show you how stupid your creditors are. You actually have access to $136,000 worth of credit. You don't make $136,000 between you.
That's like $30,000 more than we make
Okay?
gross.
But that's what your creditors are prepared to do. And the fact that you have $80,000 worth of consumer debt just freaks me out. That's over a year's salary. So you have spent next year's income already. And I'm going to show you how you did it. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's $1,000 a month of shopping. You're on maternity. What makes you think you can go and spend $1,000 a month? Well, we know all the shopping isn't you because I'm willing to bet dogs to donuts you're not spending $550 a month on electronics.
No.
Hello? And then we'll add the online shopping, which is another $320. So now you're up to $500, $900. You're pretty close. And then there's $800 in cash that's disappearing that we have no idea what you're spending that on. So who's actually worse?
Neither. We're both-
Exactly
Both are.
right. You're spending almost $3,000 a month on crap. That represents 40% of your income. You're spending about 22% on transportation. So if your housing is 30% of your income, you have about 7% of your money left for debt repayment and savings. Can you see why you have a problem? You're overspending by $6,000 a month. And if you keep it up in 5 years, you'll owe over $800,000. So are you prepared to do any frickin' thing I ask to get you out of this problem?
Yes.
Over the next few weeks, I'm going to teach you how to live within your means. I'm going to put you on a debt repayment plan that'll actually get you out of the hole. And I'm going to teach you to have a life as opposed to the substitute life of shopping. So the very next thing I need you to do is go and get me your debit cards and your credit cards because they're gone. Coming up, will Karissa crack under pressure?
It's gonna sort of break my heart every day.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
When it comes to reducing their debt, Karl and Karissa are spinning their wheels.
There's always tomorrow to pay it off.
They've made spending an Olympic sport.
It's like a competition. Who has more stuff? The scariest thing for me was Gail mentioning that her debt is my debt.
And that debt could cost them dearly.
Maybe I'm better off on my own.
I'm here to get them back on track before this marriage runs off the road. For the next month, this couple will learn to live on a strict cash budget. No more credit cards. They'll complete weekly challenges to tackle their money and relationship issues. And if they're willing to change, I'll reward them with thousands of dollars. No changes, no money. Give me the credit cards. Oh! 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. You're going to take these and you're going to make them into a baby mobile. And maybe every time you walk in there and lift that baby out of the crib, and have to avoid whacking his head on all this plastic, you'll think twice about using money you have not yet earned. I'm cutting your spending by 76% from $6,000 a month to about $1,500 a month. You will have $125 a week for groceries, $150 a week for transportation, $25 a week for clothing and gifts, $42 for entertainment, $23.75 for everything else. This is the pet food. You have to get to the end of the month before you get to the end of the money, or you fail this. The first part of your challenge is you're going to have to learn to walk a tightrope.
Okay.
Like an actual tightrope?
Like an actual tightrope. You have to learn to balance your debt with your income. So you're going to see how hard it is to walk a tightrope when you're out of balance. From this day forward, all the money goes in the joint account because you are no longer two people. So you have to start acting like Gabe's angels. Stop acting like dicks. Karl and Karissa's finances are like a three-ring circus. Not only will they have to walk the tightrope, but I want them to merge their accounts and get that debt paid off in 3 years. When Karissa has a look at the numbers, she may not like what she sees.
$28.55 an hour. I got rid of my plastic. I'm not getting rid of my BlackBerry. We're supposed to find an extra $1,300 a month. I don't think that's doable.
Well, we'll have to find something.
But how? I can't get another job. I already work full time. It just sort of cuts into the future you want for your kids. You always want them to have better than you had. We can't rely on overtime and we're gonna burn out.
And we've done that to ourselves, and we can't blame anybody else. And we have to do it no matter what.
This isn't better than we had.
I think the most challenging for me is going to be the balancing of the budget.
When you first start to learn to walk on the tightrope, the most important part is to always keep your upper body very tight. You're gonna have to find your way across with one side heavier than the other.
Finding out how much money we need to save as well as to repay all of our debts. Yeah, this is impossible to do.
The tightrope challenge is scaring me because I guess I'm not very coordinated and just not a good picture in my mind of what's gonna happen.
Let me give you a hint.
Okay, good job, guys. Way to work together.
What'd you learn from the tightrope walk?
It's not easy.
It's not easy to balance income and debt.
Right. If you did it together, it was easier, right?
It is a lot easier.
Did you come up with a balanced budget?
We did come up with a budget.
Show me your numbers. Fabulous. Your numbers are very good. You stuck with my variable costs. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Right.
When I had created a debt repayment plan for you, I had said you have to repay $2,400 a month. And that created a shortfall for you, right? Of how much?
$1,300.
Right. Whatever the shortfall is, you're going to have to earn it. You don't want to make any more money.
No, not that I don't want to make any more money, but 12-hour shifts is going to be difficult to work.
Karissa, either you come up with the money, any monthly payments to get the debt paid off, or you come up with the money some other way to get the debt paid off. So this is going to tie into your next challenge, which is your life lesson challenge. You have a lot of stuff in this house. You're going to price everything, every single thing, so that you can show me where the money went.
Okay, no problem.
You're also going to highlight all the things you can sell to come up with a lump sum amount to put down on your debt. If you can't come up with enough to sell, but you can eliminate half, then you only have to come up with $650 a month, which you can do between you easily in shift work.
Right.
Having to find more money, at this point I can't see it. My current exhaustion is making me reluctant to commit to other shifts.
If you do this week's challenge, you are going to have a much better life. You can have all the things you want.
I don't know. Yeah, but what's that?
Coming up, can Karissa do what it takes to balance her budget?
I'm not selling all of his baby stuff.
Or is she spoiling for a fight?
Now you're just starting to get angry.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Karl and Karissa are deep in debt
Carrie didn't quite realize how severe the problem was.
I'm not getting a second job.
and heading for Splitsville.
Maybe I'm better off on my own.
It's going to take a lot of hard work to get them back in the black.
So we're supposed to find an extra $1,300 a month.
Right.
But how? I already work full time.
To dig themselves out of the hole, I want them to sell what they can and work off the rest, no matter how much it hurts. If they do everything I ask, I'll give them up to $5,000 to pay down their debt.
The things we can sell. Baker's Rack, dog crate, some of his toys.
There's been a huge improvement in communication, being able to sit down and talk about budgets.
There's still work to do. Everything's not sort of roses at this point. There's still the thorns.
If we go to the extreme and start selling big ticket items, it could be in the thousands.
Carl's driving me a bit crazy with his enthusiasm for the process. That was a stupid purchase. Now you're just starting to get angry.
Nope, just getting even, that's all.
I'm not selling all of his baby stuff, though.
No,
Do you have any double tools?
Yeah, but they're not worth anything.
So you went around the house and you itemized what things were worth. How much did it come up to when you added it all up?
About $90,000.
Do you have anything you can sell?
There's not a lot of stuff that's got worthwhile resale value.
That's right. These guys found out that household assets depreciate at a wicked clip. And if you have to sell them, there's not much chance in you getting your money back. Better to wait until you have the cash before you make the purchase. You have to make more money. So you come back to me next week with a definite plan, a concrete plan for how you're going to come up with the money to pay for this debt repayment, or you're not going to get the money I have to give you.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah,
You still have money in the jars?
we do.
How is that possible?
We haven't been spending money where we don't need to.
Have you done anything in the entertainment area?
No.
Which brings me to this week's challenge, which is your relationship rescue challenge.
Our romantic life is pretty much non-existent.
Karl definitely doesn't believe in romance, I don't think.
She's not gonna stick around. You'll be getting no more babies. Okay, you've gotta learn to be romantic. You have to think of something nice to say to your beautiful wife every single day.
Okay.
And you have to think of something nice to say to your handsome and charming husband every single day. Karl and Karissa's third challenge may be to keep the compliments coming, but I'm also sending them to do tantric yoga because it's going to take more than words to put the heat back in this chilly marriage.
I think Karl thinks I'm the financial problem, and I know I think he's more the relationship problem.
The last time I paid my wife a compliment, I don't know.
Coming up, will Karl bend to Karissa's will?
Get rid of any aspect of struggle in your relationship.
Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
Karl and Karissa found out the hard way. A house full of junk's easier to buy than sell.
I can sell that double travel swing.
Yeah, but they're not worth anything.
Now, even Carrie agrees hard work's the only way out from under this mountain of debt.
I think there's been a big change so far in Carrie's attitude. I've never seen her actually go other departments to see if there was overtime.
But will my financial roadmap lead this couple back to romance? Before I give them up to $5,000 to pay off their debt, I want to see them come together as a couple.
You can relax and close your eyes. The basic.
I have no experience with tantric yoga. I've never even done regular yoga. Ultimately, it's my fault for the erosion of our romantic life.
He's deathly afraid of public displays of affection. Romance is dead.
Fighting over money leads to arguments and going to bed angry.
I don't expect like rose petals in a bubble bath. I just say something nice once in a while.
Get rid of any aspect of struggle in your relationship.
Taking away the stress of debt out of the equation, I think, is going to make strides in our relationship in terms of romance and everything else.
Hopefully with my change in approach to finances, Karl will change his approach to romance.
All right, good.
So I wanted your family here because I wanted them to see the mess you had made, but I also wanted them to see how hard you'd worked to clean it up, and they have worked very hard to clean it up.
It was scary to share this experience with Karl's parents because they got to see how much of a hole we dug ourselves into.
Are you going to continue being nice to each other?
Yeah.
How was that tantric yoga stuff?
It's good.
I heard you say you would do it again.
I would.
Yeah? What are you going to do when I leave?
We're going to continue with the jars.
You sure? Because I have a little something for you. These are your Gail faces.
No more tools.
No more baby clothes.
But to keep it light, remember to be nice to each other, okay, and stay on track. When I got here, you're overspending by about $6,000 a month and headed toward $840,000 in debt. Could you imagine that these kids could get themselves that far into the hole financially?
Not so quick.
So we stemmed the overspending. We put $1,850 a month towards debt repayment. Most important, we got you working together, saying nice things to each other, putting a little bit of romance back into it. And if you stick to the plan, you'll be debt-free in 3 years. But you still have to make more money, right? So that you can
Right.
get that $1,850
Yeah, we have to work.
a month. If when the debt is paid off, you take another $750 and add it to your long-term savings, by the time you're ready to retire, you'll have $2.5 million.
Or
So you think you did well?
I think so.
I think we did really well.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how well do you think you did?
I would say 9.
9.5.
A 9.5, you said? So that'd be a check for $9.50? Or a check for $5,000?
Thank you.
Do you like that?
Yeah, I like
Are you
that.
gonna cry again?
No.
Come on, Carrie, cry! I also have for you a weekend in Muskoka, and you can go wheeling when you're there. How does that sound? Well, get a little bit more excited, why don't
No,
you?
I am excited. For me, the most important part of the challenges was the romance and saying nice things to your wife, part of the challenge.
You know, the most challenging thing I think was the compliments. For me, I had to put, you know, effort and thought into that, something I had to work on.
Oh, take care of yourselves. Okay, be good.
We haven't been talking about divorce like we were before, and life's been a lot better since Gail sort of pushed us through some of the things we needed to do.